Today I have a few fun things in store, and let me just get set up here for a second. Okay. All right, so today's scent is Florida Water. I had heard a lot about Florida Water. Hi Donna, how's it going? Good afternoon. Florida Water is a cologne that is used in a lot of ceremonial, sort of spiritual practices, but it can also be just worn as a cologne. And I also recall someone telling me that they put this in their watercolors, and I suppose it makes their watercolor smell good, but it could also be for spiritual reasons. So let's smell a little bit of this. Hi Jeanette. This smells, okay, so I first get alcohol because it is alcohol-based cologne, but I also get a really strong citrus, and it kind of reminds me of, if anybody remembers Jean Naté from the 80s. Jean Naté had this like lemon cologne fragrance, except this, I'm not doing it any service. Hi Heather, I'm glad you made it. It's a little bit spicier and a little bit more sophisticated than Jean Naté, and I'm definitely getting like a citrus and a little bit of bergamot, and I have to say that's my scent. Those are my favorite scents, and my main perfume is Bergamot 22. But this also has a little bit of a spice. Your sister, Jean Naté. Yeah, I loved it too. So this has, I'm sensing a little bit of spice, and I want to say cinnamon, but I don't know, maybe, I'm not sure. I think you can make Florida Water with a lot of different ingredients, and I think rose water, lavender, jasmine, bergamot, lemon, and ylang ylang. But I'm kind of curious how long the sillage is, how long the scent lasts. And I may actually put it in my artwork today, like one of my viewers did or suggested I should do. So Florida Water, fresh, light, clean. And so this weekend I'm going to visit some friends that I haven't seen in a while, and I wanted to create a little paintings for each of them, for two of them. So that's what I'm going to do today. And I wasn't sure if I was going to use like a watercolor card. I actually could do two things. Because one of them might not turn out, but maybe I'll do one on a watercolor card, and then I'll do another one. I'm going to tape off a grid for two paintings on this really nice Fabriano watercolor paper, which is, it's 140 pounds. So it's a really nice thick paper. And this is hot press. Hot press, I prefer to cold press because it's a lot more smooth. It's got a really smooth texture. How is everybody doing this morning or this afternoon? I'm sorry, I always say that. I did this last night, and I really liked the limited palette on this, and just sort of the bold composition. It has really just, I don't know. I was thinking about maybe doing something like this for the artwork for my friends. So I'll put it off to the side and give it a go. I'm not sure what colors I'll use. Maybe I'll use ochre or something, or umbers. I don't know. Jean Naté, Jean Naté. I think I'm remembering the song correctly. Oh, the ads that get stuck in your head. You know, just so it doesn't stick or doesn't rip this paper, one of the things you can do is, here cat, catch. is this is actually a trick I learned when I was working in film, is you could take the tape, and I'm going to kind of put it on my jeans a few times just to take some of the stickiness off, like that. And so now it shouldn't be quite as sticky, so it won't rip the paper. But sometimes it rips the paper anyway. I don't know. I don't like that, but so I'm just going to do 2 small paintings for them. I have to remember to put the Florida water in my art. I want them to just be 2 little cutie paintings. So hopefully I'll get the right size. They're going to be really small. Really small. And if I put one in the middle that's this thick, it's going to be really, really tiny. They're almost going to be like landscape. Maybe we should, ooh, they're going to be so small, but they're going to be cute. Just eyeballing it. I want to be fair. I don't want to give one friend a big one and the other friend a small one. They're going to wonder why I don't like them as much. One of the friends that I am giving this to, and hopefully they're not watching, is an artist, and her name's Linda, and she was on an episode with me. Maybe you've seen it. And then I will work in tandem. Let's pull out one of these cards here. I'll just do this. I'm not going to make it as a card. I'm just going to use the paper because it's nice, really nice paper. And let's see. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet because it's not super sticky. Dollar Tree again. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. I will try Dollar Tree tape. This is, you know what I got? I got this like extra strong tissue paper. Finally, I've been wanting to get this stuff for years, and I finally just did it. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe because it was kind of expensive, but I painted some black last night on it so that I could cut out shapes. And another thing I also wanted to share was I have been working on these cradled boards, and I have to, so all the stuff, I'm kind of messy when I paint. I don't really protect the edges, which I should with tape, but you can just take a little sandpaper and clean the edges up like that. I was working on this with my friend, and I was like, I don't like it very much. And she's like, stop, just stop. And I was like, no, I want to get rid of this line. And she's like, don't do it. And she almost took the painting out of my hand. It was like, just put it away and come back to it. And I'm glad she did. So, because I do like it. I was just like, I don't like that line. And I don't know, I was being particular, but I think it's kind of cool. Interesting color combinations. I'm really into these like grid things right now. So let me grab some paint, and on my palette, you can look at that while I'm filling up my paint palette. I guess I can just do it on camera here. Let's do really limited palette. I don't know. Anybody have, okay. Tell me what color should I use? What should be my main color? I'm gonna have a sip of coffee and wait to see what you all think about that. First one who mentions the color, I will use it. What should be my main color? I've got all the colors. I've got anything you want. Cool color. Okay, that narrows it down. Oh, that's not, well, I could do a cool red, teal. How about red? Okay, well, Heather, you won. Ultramarine blue. I love them all, but has to be red. So, and you know what? There's so many different kinds of reds that, but I have some Nova 187 Pyrrole red, which is just a nice, strong, basic, cool red. And I can actually make it, you know what? I can actually add I'm just going to add some teal turquoise to it because it'll calm it down a little bit. So I'll put that off to the side. A little bit of that. Hi, Helen. And then let me add some white to my palette. I always need a lot of white, and I want to add some black. I want to just be really basic. Black, and then you know what's probably good? I always like to have this Titan buff. And maybe some raw umber. And then let's do another kind of red. I just bought, where is it? Cadmium red light, which I really like. And I'm not seeing, oh, there it is. Cadmium red light. It's more of an orange, but see how this is more of a cool red and this is more of a warm red. So that could be fun. I also have this, it's called Georgia Clay. This is, I guess this passes for red. And, all right. I don't want to get too carried away with colors. So I'll start with this. And, oh, let me grab some, I'm going to grab some glazing liquid too. I was watching this woman paint on YouTube, and she does these really beautiful textures that I don't even know if I can do what she did, but let's see. All right. I'm gonna mix. So when I mix the teal with the red, it's really beautiful. I'm just gonna start with some lines. Some chunks of color. Since it's such a small surface, it's probably just going to take a light touch to make something really beautiful and simple. Okay. This one, I'm probably not going to tape. Does anybody know what Pomodoro studying technique is? My friend who's studying for a degree said that I should make a Pomodoro video of me painting. so people can study with it. And I just love that idea. I thought that was so interesting. Add some raw umber. Oh, there's just literally cat hair over everything I own. I'm just letting the watercolor paper do the work for me here. Can you guys hear the construction work outside? If you can, just let me know and I can shut the door. I have the kitchen door open and I can hear it. You still have some Jean-Nate? Ooh, I wonder what that smells like now. Do they still make it? Or is it from the, is it like vintage? Okay, good. Okay, well, I promise this won't look like blood when I'm done with it. Yeah, I once bought a tie-dye dress that was tie-dyed red and kind of pinkish and white, and then somebody said it looked like I was in an accident, so I got rid of it. I didn't realize it when I was wearing it. I want to use, I was also watching somebody on YouTube who uses the color shaper quite a bit, and it's just such beautiful effects. Let's do that with some black. And let's, what else have I got? Do any of you know who Adele Seppiston is? She's pretty well known on, oh, those colors are way too similar. She's been doing some really neat stuff lately. Oops, on Instagram. I'm moving cautiously because I don't want to mess this up. I have these really cheap little paint pens. They're like fabric paint, and sometimes they add a really cool effect. And let me see. Let's see what this one does. This one reminds me of watermelon a little bit. This creates a little bit of a glaze. So, and the nice thing about these fabric paints is they're really shiny when they dry. So it's, you know, I get all kinds of textures. I get matte, and then I get shiny. That's nice. That's nice layering. You follow Adele? Nice. Yeah, I don't know how to spell her name. It's complicated. This is looking nice. Okay. This is kind of what I'm aspiring to. So how about some line work with, I have my China marker, black China marker. There's my grid in there. Hi, J9. Any plans this weekend? Any interesting plans lined up? Hi, Kitty. If you're just joining, I'm making 2 paintings for some friends that I'm visiting this weekend. And I'm doing one on a watercolor paper and one on Fabriano. These are watercolor cards. Look at that. See, that's why I use the color shaper right there. I know. Someone was just mentioning how I can talk and paint at the same time. It's kind of like this. Somebody pointed out. I don't know. I can't remember who it was. Sherry or Rivka or something. But or Heather, I don't remember. But it's like when you're talking on the phone and you're doodling and you look at your art later and it came out really nice because you weren't concentrating on it. It's sort of like that. Not that everything I'm doing is going to turn out nice, but it might. Let's add a little. I do love this page. I love these dots. You know what? I could actually make these pretty easily. Let me grab some scissors. You guys are crazy today. Crazy kitties. Crazy kitties. Crazy, crazy cats. What's nice about putting down chunks of dark like that is that you can really, you can really create a lot of contrast that way. So if I put white against it, it just really pops. Try not to get it too greasy here. That. That's kind of fun. Just do that. Did anybody see my episode I just posted on fail, like destroying a painting? I just posted it and I'm curious what people think about it. Cut that off later. I know. I love that book. My friend gave it to me. She's like, do you want this? I'm like, yes, I do. I use it all the time. Let's do some of this. Keep the theme going. Isn't that nice? These were just some fabric paints that were on sale at the art store, and I decided to try them. And they're not, obviously they're not very pigmented, but some of the colors are really fun. You liked it, Rivka? Thank you. I saw your comments and I appreciate that. It does. Although, like, I do think that when I was editing it, I was like, oh, there's some really cute paintings in there. But, which is sort of a good lesson. It's like, walk away. Walk away. You know what I think would be nice in here is a little bit of, where's my brush? This brush, which is my nice brush that I bought special, and then I mistreat it by leaving it in the water. But I think what I'm seeing is like some cream color. I'm gonna mix some Titan Buff with a little raw umber. So Titan Buff with a little raw umber and a little white and a little satin glaze. and maybe a touch of the teal to cool it down, the turquoise, phthalo turquoise. This could be interesting. And I'm seeing a little bit, I'm seeing it like here. Thanks, Jean. Or is it Jean? Jean or Jean? Jean Nate. Okay, I'm gonna stop for a second on this and then work on my other piece, which is neglected. And I'm just a light touch on this one. Forgot to put some Florida water on it. So that's dry pretty much, but see how shiny it is? Oh, I have a little pencil here. Oh. Collage. What's nice about this tissue paper when you paint on it is that you can get that brush stroke to show through. I don't know if this is the right solution right now, but I'm going to experiment. It's looking kind of patchworky. And I don't know. I need a big, brave chunk of paint in here. So I think I'm going to do something a little risky. Cross your fingers. Okay. It was just, it's looking a little bit like a quilt, and like a patchwork quilt. I don't like that. Okay. That's interesting. That's more interesting. Upper left. Yes. Who said that? Rivka. There you go. Okay. This is going to be two paintings at some point. I'm going to cut it in half. So one will be like this, and one will be like this. And I think I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to cut it. This one, a little bit more, I think, but I think it's almost done. What else do I have? I have tempera paint stick. Let's see. Where's my slipper? Slipper is downstairs, but good idea. I do have this. Thank you. Yeah, I could get overworked. I'm proceeding cautiously. Let's do a little of the texture on there. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see. I'm going to do cool color, cool white. You underwork it? I need to underwork some stuff. Okay, let's try it this way. Oh yeah, that worked. I like that. This one. That's gonna look good when I take the tape off. I can feel it. I think I like this one better than this one, but I think I'm just gonna add a little line, like pencil to it, and then I'll be done. Famous last words. Famous last words. Okay. I think those are nice. I think I'll call it. How am I going to present it? That is a good question. Maybe in a bag of Doritos. Yeah, it's going to be one of those kind of weekends. You know, that's a good question. I might wrap them in a little tissue paper with, like, put it on a little piece of cardboard backing. Oh, I do have some cellophane pouches, which I could put them in. Okay. White chalk. I've got, I always like this chalk. Let's see if it this paint is still really wet. I did say a bag of Doritos. Ooh, that's cool. I want to use that. It's just so wet, I can't work it yet. I guess I could do, here's another tempera paint stick. Some green line work. Yeah, or teal, how about, or like turquoise? It's a good idea. Little contrast color in there. And look at that. Ah, yes, that is really cool. I love teal on top of red. It almost looks black. Yeah, you're right. That looked really good. Thank you. This is much more fun now. It's much more playful, and I think I'm almost done. I don't know. Let me put that aside. Let's take the tape off of this and see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't rip the paper. I'll go carefully. I'm throwing that for the cats to play with. They're not interested. Oh, ripped a little bit. Paper. Okay. Perfect. Oh, they're so cute. I love them. And then I'll just cut them. I'll go downstairs with my guillotine, whatever you call that thing. And then I'll put them, I'll cut just a little bit of the white off and then present them. I like these ones. I'll sign these. I think I like this one too. And I don't know, I mean, these would look really nice on a white. So let me cut this in half. Probably should use the guillotine for this because it's more accurate, but here if I bend it, and then here, so this one would look like that, which is okay. I don't love it as much as the other ones. And then this one would look like this. I think it needs just a little bit. I want to do this white tempera stick. I think it needs, it just needs something. I actually like it better as an entire piece. I might just leave it like that. It's just more cohesive. Yeah, okay. So here they are, the gifts for my friends, and I'll present them in a Dorito bag. Just kidding. And let me sign these. I have to decide which way they're gonna go. And I hate signing my name. I always get it wrong the first time and I have to redo it. I need advice on how to sign my name. Like I never know what tool to use. Like I don't like using markers because it looks like a Sharpie, even though it's a Posca. Like I guess I could use a brush pen, but then those run, and when I try to fix them, they bleed. I could use a China marker. Maybe I'll just use that one on here, like that. And then this one will go this way. Thanks, J9. You're welcome. And then I can do. Too late. I suppose I could do, yeah, if they wanted it. I suppose if they wanted it horizontal. I'm going to use pencil on this one. Just really small. Like that. This one is, see, if I don't like that, I don't know what I would do. I'd have to paint over it. See, this is what happens to me all the time when I try to sign my name. I'm like, oh, I don't like that. Anyway, I'll fix it later. It's not a biggie. Thank you everyone for joining me today. That was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate your help and advice. And Heather, I will check out what you were talking about. You were saying PM Artist Studio live this afternoon. Maybe you could send that information in the community section on my page. That'd be great. Yeah, Heather, sometimes when I sign it, it looks too much like a mark of the art and not my signature, and I don't like that, but thank you. All right, well, I will see everyone next week. Talk to you later. Bye.